Hello, Cancer. Welcome to Intuitive Gems. My name is Desiree, and I will be doing your December 2020 Money, Wealth, Prosperity, Abundance reading. I hope you are doing well. I know I've been reading some comments and messages from a few of you saying, things are definitely changing for the better. So I'm really glad to see that. For the readings this month, I will be using my white tarot deck. I will clarify with my Radiant Rider-Waite tarot deck, and then I will close out your reading, Cancer, with a Wisdom of the Oracle card. If this is your first time catching one of my videos, I do want to say welcome, and I invite you to subscribe, because I do these readings each and every month, and I would love to share your money message with you. All right, Cancer, let's go ahead and get right into it. I'm ready to see what shows up for you as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of December 2020. What do we need to know for the sign of Cancer? Okay. All right, Cancer, so looks like you are going to be connecting with someone or something that you have been kind of hoping for a while, it looks like. It's going to be a good partnership, a good union. It's definitely going to be something financially profitable. However, you're going to have to make some sacrifices, okay? Sometimes when we're trying to achieve a certain level financially, a certain status in our career, a certain benchmark in our finances, it's going to require some sacrifice. It's also going to require some change. And that's what I see happening here for you, Cancer, as we move into the first week of December. Now, the good thing is that we've got the Five of Pentacles here in the reverse, and this talks about a shift in your money mindset. In other words, you're not thinking lack, poverty, there's not enough. You clearly see that, whatever you want is available to you as long as you do the work, as long as you pay the price, as long as you're willing to take that action. However, there's going to be some parts of the equation that may or may not necessarily flow as easily. I say that because we've got the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. She's all about sometimes not reading the instructions, right? Sometimes not following the directions. Sometimes she just kind of moves ahead with something and may not know all the rules or may not know all the details, but she's like, I'm going to take action anyway. And not that that doesn't have a place, but sometimes when you're trying to strategically grow your money, sometimes that can work out, sometimes it doesn't. And I'm not saying that it's not going to work out, but it may make your efforts a little less powerful than they would be otherwise, had you known everything that you needed to know in order to take that first step. Now, the good news is you're going to be celebrating. Like I said, you've got something coming together here in a very good, positive way. It's changing the way you think, changing how you feel about yourself, and it's giving you a reason to celebrate. We talked here about, this is the Five of Cups. This is the card about regrets. And I think this card really kind of connects to what we were talking about here, where, sometimes you can look back and you can see, oh, wow, had I known XYZ, I probably would have done things a little bit differently, especially financially, especially work related, especially investment related. Okay. Finally, we got the Five of Swords here. Whatever communication has been strained, recently in the past, looks like it's going to finally smooth itself out, which is really, really good because, when we're trying to grow our money, we have to make sure we can communicate that. excuse me, either directly or indirectly, right? You don't have to necessarily broadcast your goals to everybody, but you need to communicate very clearly that you are in this to win. You are in this to make money. You're not doing this for the sake of doing it. You know, whatever it is that you are setting your mind to, and whatever it is that you are committing to, it's because you are expecting some type of a positive result at the end. And sometimes that's all you need to communicate. Sometimes you just need to let people know, hey, you know, I'm not here for, fun. I'm here because I'm expecting something to benefit me just as much as it benefits you. Okay. And in our case, that is money. That is financial proficiency. That is, all the good things that we are expecting and that we're trying to create for ourselves. Okay, Cancer, let's continue on and see what else shows up for you as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of December 2020. What do we need to know for the sign of Cancer? All right, so you've got some big things happening. All right, as we move into the second week of December, Cancer, I can tell you that you're going to be going through some big changes. So much so that your life may not even look or feel the same during this time. You're going to have some changes as it relates to work. You're going to have some changes as it relates to relationships, even creatively. I can tell here by the Magician and the Hangman in the reverse, it's like some creative blockages, sometimes a disruption of your creative flow. Now, if you are an artist or if you are a musician or someone who is very creative, you may find that this is kind of a dry spell for you, right? It's not that you can't create art or create music or whatever it is, but every now and again, some of us kind of get in this little funk of just not feeling inspired, maybe not feeling motivated, maybe not feeling like we have the energy to create something magnificent. And you know what? I think that's totally okay because you have some things going on in your life, that probably are taking your attention in a different direction. And I can see that clearly here with the Fool and the Lovers. Now, the Fool talks about sometimes this is a very good card to see in the reverse because the Fool in the upright is a lot of anxiety, sometimes naivety, sometimes blindly moving ahead without any type of anything. But the Fool in the reverse is someone who is a lot more grounded, someone who is very much someone who can make a good decision and can kind of see a clear path for him or herself and takes the time to really study before they move forward. Now, I think this is good because we talked about in that first week where you could have a tendency to kind of just move ahead without considering all the aspects of the situation. By the time we hit the second week of December, you will very clearly be a lot more, like I said, grounded, a lot more, prepared in order to move forward. And the other thing too is even though this is going to feel very, very unstable at this time, it's not anything that's going to totally, feel like destructive or bad. I don't want anyone to think that because that's not what I'm seeing here. The only thing that I'm seeing that probably would be cause for concern is, like I said, if you are a creative type and you rely on, being creative in order to make your money, you may just kind of go through a creative block. Now, the good thing is that we have the Hangman here, and when he's in the reverse, this means that the situation is temporary. It also means that he finds clarity and he's not stuck anymore. The other good thing about him being in the reverse is that if you look at the picture, he's right side up. Now, this is the card when it's not in reverse, but he gets it all together and he's right side up. So that's one of the interesting things about this card is that sometimes through periods of, say, confusion or things being disrupted, you end up finding yourself in the perfect position when all is said and done. And it looks like that's what's happening here. So I just want you to be prepared that if you do feel a little, out of sorts during the second week of December, it's totally okay. It's totally temporary, because by the end of that week, you will get some clarity and you will feel, that, okay, I had a period of whatever, but now I'm past it. I'm ready to keep going. And that's exactly what we're going to do. All right, Cancer, so let's see what else shows up for you. As it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance. For the month of December 2020, what do we need to know for the sign of Cancer? Nice. All right, Cancer, as we move into the second half of December, again, you're going to be making some changes. Looks like you're going to decide to walk away from something. Also, you're going to have multiple projects going on, but you're going to narrow things down to one. But let's start here. Three of Cups. Now, this is a repeater. We saw the Three of Cups here. Three of Cups in reverse talks about, a party just isn't happening. Maybe a Christmas party or something, a holiday party, a Yule party, whatever it is that you're celebrating. Looks like that's going to probably not happen, or it's going to happen in a less social way. I'm not surprised about this, considering that we are in a global pandemic at this time. And, I've been seeing a lot of things being delayed, postponed, and canceled. And that's what I'm getting from this here. So this isn't anything really to worry about, but I'm getting intuitively that this is just like a heads up. Now we also have the Eight of Swords, another good card to see in the reverse. Why? Because it means that you are free from self-limiting beliefs. It means that you can clearly see all your options, especially as it relates to money. And the other thing is that you make a decision as it relates to money. In other words, you're not bound, because you don't know something. It's like you clearly know what you're going to do, and you follow through and you do it. And it ends up paying off for you in a very good way. Now, we also have the Chariot. If there is something concerning your business or your work, and you've got several projects going on at once, the Chariot in the reverse tells us that that's going to finally come to an end. Either you're going to make the conscious decision to say, hey, I'm not going to pull myself in all these different directions for work or for business or whatever. You are going to streamline your efforts. You're going to streamline your work. The other thing is you're really just going to get focused. You're not going to try and do this here and then do this there and then do your 9 to 5. It's like, you don't want to spread your efforts in that way. And you come to that realization and you make some changes because of it. So I see that as a good thing, because it allows you to, like I said, really streamline your efforts, which really allows you to get more focused and really make something profitable before you move on to the next project. We also have the Eight of Cups here. Eight of Cups means you walk away from something with no hesitation and no regrets. Could this be a job? Could this be a business opportunity that just doesn't jive with you anymore? Could it be a business transaction that you say no to? Whatever it is, it's a good decision. And whether or not it's a good decision to others, it doesn't matter, because as long as it's good for you, and it's preserving your sanity and your wealth, that's all that matters, Cancer. You don't have to, make excuses or give someone an explanation. You're doing what's best for you here, and you are walking away. Now, the other thing about this is sometimes you think, oh, I'm walking away from some money. Well, that could and could not be, because remember, whenever you say no to something, you're saying yes to something else. So just because one source is cut off, it doesn't mean there isn't another source or multiple sources that are waiting in the wings to replace that. Next, we have the Empress in the reverse. Now, this means that growth is not happening. Sometimes it also signifies that things are just not kind of maturing in the way we thought they would. I see this a lot, like I said, when we talk about investments, but the other thing is that sometimes, again, it's a project that just doesn't come off the ground in the way that we thought it would. Now, it doesn't mean that it's never going to happen. It just means that for some reason, things just don't progress at the rate that you expect them to. Now, the good thing about the Empress, though, is that it's not like an independent thing. And when I say independent, I mean, you have a project, and let's say it's a work project, and so the project is within your job, right? So if this particular project does not take off and does not grow, it's still no threat to your daily job, right? It's still contained within the, or I should say, under the umbrella of your employment. So I don't want you to worry about that. It may feel like it's a life or death situation, but it really isn't. It's one of those things where you just have to kind of roll with it and be flexible and understand that, this is how it is now. I'll do what I can to make things work, and that's all I can do. Finally, we do have the Wheel of Fortune here. Now, the Wheel of Fortune is a very positive card. This is the good luck card. This is the card where things literally turn in your favor. And it's interesting that this fell on the Hangman, because remember, now he's right side up. He is the one that kind of comes into his own awareness, kind of comes into clarity when it comes to his money and his wealth and his work. Something good. You're going to find an unexpected stroke of good luck by the time we hit the second half of December. Sorry, I'm talking too fast. But this is, like I said, a very, very good card. The other thing about the Wheel of Fortune card is that it's the card of serendipity. So you're going to find yourself in the right place at the right time, talking to the right person in the right situation, and it's definitely going to be something that rewards you financially. You get a new job, maybe you get a tip, maybe you get a deal, whatever the case may be. Just know that the second half of December is going to probably be your lucky part of the month, Cancer. All right, let's see how things continue to go. Cancer as it relates to I don't know if this was upside down or not. I'm going to leave it there since that's what I'm feeling how it wants to be. All right, what do we need to know? Okay. What do we need to know for the sign of Cancer as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of December 2020? All right, interesting. The end of the month is going to be kind of shifty. And why do I say that? Because we got this Seven of Swords here. This is probably my least favorite card in the deck because it means that somebody nearby is not genuine. We'll get into that as we move through. But let's start here with the Six of Wands. Six of Wands is another good card. This is a card about showing up, being seen, and people recognizing you for what you do. But this is where you get lots of admiration. You get lots of attention. I see this a lot with my social media influencers. It's like you really grow a following. People love you. People want to follow you. People want to, really just kind of be, in your tribe. And this is a fun card too, because it means that, you have some credibility. It means that, people recognize that you have something of value and they want a piece of it, however that happens. Now, this is an excellent time for you to start monetizing what you do. Also, if you're trying to maybe launch a product or you're thinking about sharing a product, or creating a product for sale, this would be a good time to do it, because energetically, it looks like it's going to be very well received. So if that's something you're thinking about, Cancer, I would say that probably the end of December is going to be a good time to do it for you. Now, of course, this is probably after the holiday season, but that's okay, because what you're doing is you're setting yourself up for the new year and the new month. Now, we also have the King of Swords here in the reverse. Now, the King of Swords, he likes to get rid of things, sometimes in the most abrupt and abrasive way. Now, because this card is right next to this Seven of Swords, I have a feeling that these two are connected. Somebody near you is not being genuine. Somebody near you, I don't want to say they're being dishonest or they're stealing. However, that's a possibility. But somebody does not have the best intentions near you. And you kind of come into that and you figure out who that is. Or maybe this is somebody you already knew, Cancer. But you have to be very, very careful. You need to protect your circle. You need to protect your mental energy, your spiritual energy, your emotional energy, as well as your physical space. Because if you have someone who is infiltrating what you're trying to do, it can be a threat to your financial wellness. Okay, I know we don't like to think about that, but that is a reality. So if there is somebody around you who you feel could be a threat to what you're trying to achieve in the financial sense, in your work, in your career, it's time to probably cut them off. And like I said, with the King of Swords, I have a feeling that this is probably just going to happen as a natural evolvement of the situation. And it's sad because we have the Five of Cups here, which means, it was a regretful thing that you may have to do. But at the same time, you need to do it in order to protect yourself, okay? Finally, we have the Nine of Pentacles here. Nine of Pentacles, this is the card of luxury. A little bit less so when she shows up in the reverse. This is actually one of my favorite cards in the deck. The Nine of Pentacles talks about, just being adorned with all the beautiful things and really just having all the good things showing up for you and supporting you. However, when she's in the reverse, it means that you're not quite there yet. You're a little bit short of the goal, right? It's like you can see exactly the lifestyle you want. You know the house you want. You know the car you want. You know the type of income you want to make. But you're not quite there yet, okay? So, sometimes we need to be realistic in our, plans on how we're going to achieve one thing or another. And the other thing is that we really have to focus on what we can do right now, and at the same time we still have to maintain our vision. We still have to stay focused. We still have to stay grounded. So this is something kind of just, I guess, for you to have a check-in with yourself. It's like, I know where I want to go. Can I get there in a year? Maybe. Is it more realistic that I'll get there in 3 years? Probably. So it's one of those things where you just need to have a reality check with yourself. So, Cancer, your month is, dare I say, explosive. And I don't mean that in a in a bad way, but I mean it in a way where you've got some big changes happening. You've got some changes happening not only to you, personally, but also to, I guess, the circumstances around you as well. The people around you. Also, things happening at work or in your business, whatever the case may be. So let's go ahead and close out your reading, Cancer, with the wisdom of the Oracle card. Yang. Interesting. This is card number 1. I know I don't talk about opposites or, well, I guess maybe I do. But there's the yin and the yang. This is all about the yang. So I don't want to guess, but I know one of them represents the masculine and one of them represents the feminine. However, when I look at this picture here, I'm seeing that it's It's something where you're showing up and you are given a gift. You're given an opportunity. You're given information. And you have to decide how you're going to use that to benefit you, especially as it comes to your finances. At least that's how I'm interpreting this. Now, I know this deck does come with a guidebook, but I always like to use my own intuitive abilities to really decide what a particular card means for me at the time that I see it. So you can share with me your thoughts here. If you have the book, that's great. But I really would like to get your own thoughts and opinions about what this means to you right now, Cancer. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, observations, feel free to drop them down below. And I want to thank you so much for spending this time with me. We'll definitely do it all again next month.